Good morning, everybody. I wanted to take everybody through quickly how they can set up a transaction using Transaction Desk if they're representing a buyer. This will save you a lot of time and it'll really help you get those offers out quickly. So the first thing you would do is you go to your GLVAR single sign-on, you'd select Transaction Desk. I've already done that, so I'm going to click over here. And then this would be my agent dashboard. If I wanted to create a new transaction, I could go here. The other thing I could do, which I tend to do, is go to my little home screen over here and I would add a transaction. Okay, so I would go and click on add, and in this case we're going to say we wanted to put an offer in on a property on 435 Box Elder in Henderson. This particular transaction is a residential sale. Remember, I'm representing the buyer. I'm going to import data from the MLS. In order to do that, I have to know the MLS number. So I go to my matrix tab over here, and I would go and I would look up, stop doing that. I would look up on the home tab 435 Box Elder. That way I know some information about the property. Okay, here's my MLS number, 188-3464 right there. So I'm going to go over here, 198-3464. I'm the selling agent. I'm going to leave this selected as Use Wizard. Click on Create. It's going to then set up a transaction for me. Residential sale, property information, the MLS number, the APN number, etc., etc. Click on Next. Don't want to worry too much about this yet. We haven't been accepted yet, so we won't worry about that. So we'll click on Next. It's got me already listed as the listing agent and the selling agent, listing broker and the selling broker. Before I move past this page, I want to add my clients. In this case, let's say we've already done an offer before, and so we're going to add an existing contact. However, you could create a brand new transaction contact as well. So we're going to add an existing contact, and we're going to look up my buyer. His name is Mickey. There he is, Mickey Mouse. Obviously, if you had another buyer, you would add more. So in this case, we want to do a couple things. We want to put in their preferred signature. It's going to save you time. Their preferred initials. Already everything else is there. I'm going to click on Save. Now, if you had another buyer, you would do the same thing. You would either add contacts as a brand new transaction contact or an existing contact that you've already put in before. Before I go on, the other thing I want to do is I want to make sure my information is correct and the broker information. If you notice, this is correct. However, my initials weren't there. I also want to make sure that my license information is in here. It's going to save me time when I go to put in forms later on. Same thing with my broker information. I'm going to go under here, click on there, put in the broker information. Oops. And it already knows Eric's email because I put it in all the time. In this case, I know my broker likes to sign EH as his preferred signature, so I'm going to put that in there. I'm also going to click on this identifiers tab again. Make sure his license information is in there. It's going to auto-populate. I just happen to know his license information, so there you go. Now the next thing I'm going to do, click on Next. I need to add some forms. Well, let's take a look at this property. It's built in 1980. Don't need a lead-based form. But I do need to check if there's an HOA. Nope, no HOA. Doesn't show anything for an HOA. So I don't need a CIC disclosure. So there's another class I'm going to do a video on which shows you which transaction documents. But for sure, I know I'm going to need a duties owed. So I'm going to put in the duties owed on the selling side, residential forms. And because I use Stacy as a transaction coordinator, I'm going to use the supplemental list of licensees form. There's my first two. Obviously, I need to have the offer itself, so I'm going to put in a residential purchase agreement. And I'm going to find the most recent one, which is this one right here. And I also know that every transaction requires a residential disclosure guide. So I'm going to add that in as well. Now, do you notice what I'm doing is I'm just looking them up so I don't have to scroll through and clicking add. Now before I go on, I want to show you what happens to these forms since I've auto-populated or already populated my contact information. When I go to click on this form, notice how my name, my license, my client's name is already in there. Then all I have to do, click on buyer, are there additional licensees, click on yes, everything else is filled out for me. So I'm going to click on save. Okay, I'm going to go back to the forms or the wizard so I know what's going on here. Alright, next. Click on next. That's facts now I have done. And now my transaction has been created. So if I go on to the home screen again, there it is, brand new. I can click on it. If I want to access those forms again, it's already got them right here for me. I can go in and put everything I need. Obviously, duties owed supplemental list of licensees. Going to need that information. I would fill that out. Put in my name, my client's name, my broker name. In this case, I would put Stacy and her license number. Once I do that, I click save. I go to the residential purchase agreement. I have to fill out several things, but what's nice is it's already pre-filled out the property address. It's already pre-filled out the APN number, things like that for me. You notice there's my buyer, the property address, the APN number. Then I just go through, put in what I need to, such as the date, the purchase price, is the buyer going to occupy the property or not, etc. We'll do another class on how to fill these out. But I hope this was helpful because, like I said, I want to make sure everybody's comfortable with Transaction Desk. It's going to save you a lot of time when you're going to write offers, and that information will be saved for you. We'll put in lots more videos in the future. This is just the first one, and it's kind of a test. So I hope everybody got something out of it, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.